Monday. Happy Monday. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tinker's Card Art and my segment this morning for Craft Round the Clock. So we are thinking fall now. We did a little fall back to school painting last week. If you saw that, if you didn't catch it and you missed it, please you can find it in the Craft Round the Clock page as a recording or on my Tinker's Card Art page. So welcome everybody. It's Monday. The sun is out for the moment. I see you guys. Hey Lynn, thanks for popping in. Say hello when you come in, and let me know where you're watching from. I'm coming from to you from Maine this morning. And I was just watching Jennifer. Did you see that? Oh, that pumpkin was so adorable. I just loved it. I love that little plaid design on the bottom. It was so darn cute. So welcome, you guys. Hey, Catherine. We're going to paint on a tote bag today. So maybe some acorns and some oak leaves. I have found that I love painting on the fabric tote bags. Hi, Sally from Las Vegas. Now, previously I used to paint right on the bags, and it was a little difficult getting the acrylic paint in the nooks and crannies and getting it to cover. So what I do now is I just tape off a rectangle. Hey, Babs. I tape off a rectangle. Then I insert a magazine into, or a piece of cardboard, whatever you have. Hi, Tammy. So I just stuck a magazine in here so I don't go through to the other side. And I put 2 or 3 coats of a background color on. I did this black one last fall. I guess I was going to do something Halloween on it, but I had it all done, so I thought we would do some fall colors with leaves and acorns. But it's great because the background that you're painting on now is more like canvas. Thank you, Dawn. I appreciate that. Please, anybody you have that's a crafty, painty, artsy friend, please let them know. So anyways, it's much easier to paint on this background where I've painted 2 or 3 coats of the black paint. You know what the most fun is of this whole project is at the end peeling off the paint and having those nice crisp edges. That's kind of crazy. Oh, Melissa, yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. I haven't painted the tote bags in a while. Some that I have done previously, I'll show you. I've done a little snowman. Now, these are great as gift bags. If you don't want to spend money on gift wrap and all that, look at this is a perfect little gift bag. It's a gift in itself. And I've done it with my little water lilies. See the abstract background there? I sort of painted a few coats and then spattered paint. I love sunflowers. You've seen me paint them 1,000 times, but on purple. Aren't they wonderful? And I had one, I guess I don't have it here, it had little ghosts on it, so they're great trick-or-treat bags too. So we're going to paint these, and you can find these maybe at some of the arts and crafts stores, but on Amazon I buy them by the dozen. They're great for classes if you teach. They're great for craft fairs and art fairs if you want to sell something a little different. So it's really a lot of fun. So thank you guys, I appreciate you watching. I have painted my background. Like I said, I've applied the tape. If you didn't see me, I put a little magazine or something inside. I don't want the paint to come through to the back. And I have some fall colors out, and I'm going to just put, like I said, some acorns and oak leaves. It's not real Halloweenish. I will do some more Halloween things closer, but I'm just working my way into fall finally. So I will pull you up on my computer here, and if you have any questions, pop them in, and if I see them, I'll answer as we go. If I miss it, I'll definitely come back and answer any questions for you later on. And if you don't know who I am, I'm Cheryl from Tinker's Card Art. I'm on my page now, but I'm also on the Craft Round the Clock segment, and that is a fabulous place to be. I will put the links in the comments as we go, and I would love you to follow us on both those places. So I'm going to kind of paint the oak leaves first and have the acorns a little bit on top. I'm just really, all I did was take out my just ordinary acrylic paints, craft paints. I've just taken a random assortment of fall colors, oranges, gold, yellows, browns, some white and black. You can use whatever acrylic paint you have. I'm not using a special fabric paint on this. I'm not treating it in any way afterwards. I'm just going to go ahead and paint it. I'm going to try to keep the handles out of the way because I am going to try to keep those paint free if I can. I'm going to just go into some of my colors for my oak leaves now. Maybe I'll do some orangey ones. I usually start whenever I'm painting a little darker than what I want it to look like so that I can kind of leave that as a shadow. And I'm famous for just taking the colors on my palette and mixing them all together to see what I get. So sometimes I just dab into the various colors. I find that that gives your painting a nice cohesive look. If you just pick out a palette of colors you're going to start with, and then leave it. Don't go grabbing all the colors. And mixing those colors together to make all different shades really lends a nice look to your finished paintings. So I'm going to just get some, I've sketched on with chalk. Chalk is great to sketch with on your canvases or your paintings because you can just erase it if you don't like it. It just gives me some guidelines. I'm just going to grab some, I'm going to the burnt sienna, which is that reddish brown. I'm going to just do some browns to start and then build up the colors lighter. Some of them I might start with a dark maroon and build those up to like a little bit of a red orange. Painting on black, so I know it's a little difficult to see, but I'm just getting that shape, the shape of the oak leaves. You know, they have the kind of rounded kind of look. So I'm not worried. I have some inspiration here, some photos of oak leaves. I've got some acorns, but I'm not going to get too detailed. This is not going to be, you know, a botanical illustration. This is for fun. So I am just going to paint in, and I want to make sure you can see that. I'm just going to paint in random leaf shapes. And I've sketched my acorns, but I'm going to kind of paint over those a little bit. I'm going to plop those right on top of the leaves later. And I really do like the painting on the fabric. It really pops afterwards when you add some bright highlights. I'll go down and make this one sort of that color too. It's just kind of a red-brown to start. And then we'll put on some lights and darks. That's what gives our objects form, lights and darks, highlights and shadows. And I try to show you that as I go along. And any little bits of this chalk that is showing, I will erase afterwards, so we're not going to worry about that. So welcome, Ruby. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all popping in. I love to see who's here. I have some repeat people that show up every week. I try to do my lives on Monday. Next week, I think I'm on Thursday. I had to switch my schedule up, but I try to sort of do it on Mondays. It's a day I use to do my social media stuff and my lives and all that. Hey, Pam, welcome. And let me know what you guys like to paint and what you're painting, because I love to get suggestions from people on what they want to see painted. I honestly don't even think about what I'm painting until I'm practically coming on here. So it's always a little bit of a challenge of, can I finish it in time? What will it look like? I have not painted these acorns like this. I painted acorns a little bit in a cornucopia design. Actually, that design was recently in the last issue of the Pixelated Palette magazine, which is a decorative art online magazine. And they've had my, I have an article in there on my cornucopia for fall, which is a really nice painting. I did paint a few little acorns in that cornucopia. Hey Kelly, thanks for watching. Let me know a little bit about you. Tell me where you're from, what you like to paint or craft. I'm here to show you how simple acrylic painting can be, even if you're not an artist or you can't draw a straight line or you have never done it before. I'm here to show you how easy it is to get started. Very simply. You don't need a lot of supplies. You don't need a lot of stuff. It's fun to buy all the stuff, but you really don't need everything. If you check out my YouTube channel, I have some videos, a lot of videos there, of paintings and tutorials. And I believe I might have one that might tell you about the supplies. Oh, you know where it is? Actually, I have a blog on my tinkerscartart.com website. I have a blog about what you need to get started simply, just what's the basics that you need. You can always add all the fun stuff, but you don't need everything. So I'm just putting a variety of colors. I've got a gold, I've got a brown. I might just go ahead and get a orange leaf started. Maybe this one here. You can see the black background a little bit behind my leaves. I'm going to put 2 or 3 coats. I'm going to put some nice brights on here at the end. I love to put my bright highlights at the end. I start dark, shadowy, and work forward. I do paint with a lot of color, so I don't paint really dark. This is unusual for me to be painting on a black surface and not teal or pink or something. But it kind of reminded me of fall. I found it in my drawer with the background painted, and I thought, let's do tote bags this morning. Honestly, I decided that like 20 minutes ago. So we are here. We have a 45-minute segment. Craft Around the Clock. You'll have crafters and artists all day long, 45-minute segments, and it's so much fun. You get a whole huge variety of different things that you never knew were a thing, different crafts. I'm learning so much. I love to make things of all sorts. I'm more of a painter, but I love to make things, and it's really a great treat for me to even just listen in some days. Some days I'm just listening in, watching if I'm busy doing something else. because I love to just see what people are making. It's a great community. Same over on my page. If you want to go over, take a look. I have, all the socials, I'm there. And I also have a private community, which I can share that information in a comment or something, or just message me, where you'll be surrounded by other people that are taking a journey in painting. I teach a lot of in-person classes. I do a lot of online classes. I have an online art membership. And if I have 1 second, I'm going to kind of show you what we're working on for the membership, because we have some really fun paintings. I paint with my members live twice a month, and then they also get a recording. So there's quite a few paintings to be had. I'm doing some maroon leaves now. They're a little darker, but I'd like it when I could pop some red on there later. So you can kind of see we've got just a little roadmap of where our leaves are. Oh, Dawn, raining today in Arizona. I'll tell you, I'm in Maine, and we have had rain all summer. And I know a lot of you guys really need that rain, and that's great. But we honestly have had rain like every day practically. It's crazy, the weather around the world, isn't it? Been lately just crazy. All right, so I want to get my leaves a little bit highlighted and shaded before I go and plop in acorns. And I might do something that's a little bit green too, because sometimes there's some of those green leaves. So let me mix up a green. Let's get a little green leaf. It doesn't have to be a whole leaf. It could just be peeking out, say over here. I'm going to make it more of a muted shade than a bright green. If I mix gold and some black, I get that really earthy army green. I might use some of that. I'm sort of layering them. This one's going to kind of be behind those other ones. Just trying to get that little curvy shape that those acorns are in. And I'm using kind of a big brush. It's a filbert. It's a long-handled hog bristle brush. I kind of like the hog bristle brushes. They're stiffer, and it digs into the canvas a little better for me. But you can use whatever brushes you have. Use what you have to start. All right, I'm going to put a little touch of a green leaf over here coming out. I'm kind of just using the corners, leaving this blank. When we pull out that tape, it's going to really be a nice little look. Just wanted to touch a green because it's fall, but we still have a little green going on. Maybe a little bit behind here. And as my other colors dry, I'm going to go in now and I'm going to deepen up some areas and I'm going to lighten up some areas. Again, I'm just using my ordinary acrylics in fall colors. I've got this brown, burnt sienna, which is that red-brown leaf started there. I'm going to use a little bit of that maroon to kind of shade. So it would probably be a little darker. This leaf is behind the gold one, so I'm just going to give it a little shadow here and there. I'm just going to kind of dab it on. I'm not going to get real concerned with light sources and where it's coming from and all that. I'm just giving it some shadows. And I'm going to wipe off my brush. Unless I have to wash it and go to a lighter color, I sort of just use my brush. Hey, Jennifer, hello. I loved your project. That pumpkin was amazing. I love the whole plaid idea on the bottom. Teal is my color. I love those colors. So it was great to watch you this morning. Thanks for popping in, too. I love to see my other creatives here. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit brighter with the oranges now on my brown leaf. What I'm trying to do is just make that little object look a little interesting. I don't want it to be blah. What makes it interesting and gives it form is some lights and darks. Yellows and oranges are notorious for being translucent, so I'm going to put them on this way, but I'm also going to add a little white to it. Thank you, Jerry. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. I love it when you let the world know that we are here doing all this amazing stuff. And I'm kind of just really dabbing it on there. I might put a little of that orange, since it's on my brush, onto my gold leaf a little bit. I'm going to get a little red onto my maroon leaf. That'll bring that alive a little bit. And I would love some other ideas for little designs on tote bags. Like I said, I did one with little ghosts. Coming into Halloween, one of my favorite holidays. So many fun things to paint. And I'm just dabbing the different fall colors into each leaf here for now. And when it's good and dries, I'll go in with some of the really lights and just pop in some nice highlights. And we'll put some veins in these leaves too. And I do like to take a color I'm using and pop it into just other areas of my painting. And sometimes it doesn't even make sense. Sometimes I'm painting something and I'm painting a little teal on something. I'll pop teal here and there in the landscape or whatever. It just kind of makes a nice little cohesiveness, like I say, bringing those colors all around. All right, I'm going to start mixing some white with some of my colors. Watch what happens now when I mix a little white with this yellow, and I'm going to highlight on that leaf. Look at how nice and bright that is. That really pops. If I went on there with just yellow by itself, you wouldn't really see it. It makes a nice glaze. I use the yellow to glaze a lot, but I'm taking just yellow by itself now, for instance, just by itself, putting it on there, and you don't see it that well. It kind of blends with the background. But if I add a little white to it, it really pops. Although I love the way that looks, that little glaze of yellow. So let's put a little of that in here and there too. Some lights. That's the primary yellow with some white. And I also have like kind of a toned down goldy yellow, which is kind of nice. I'm just dabbing colors, because you know how those fall leaves are. It almost looks like they're painted. They're just dabbed with some various colors. A little bright orange, so we'll take our orange with some white now too. And I'm going to brighten up a little bit of this brown leaf a little bit. I've got this orange leaf here. And another thing I like to try to tell everyone, and when I'm painting with my group, is how many colors we can mix from our primaries. You don't have to go out and have all the colors. You can mix so much with just the primaries, and it's good practice. I know it's convenient sometimes to grab the colors, and I have particular colors that I really love, that I use a lot, and I'll have them in jars and bottles. But remember, you can mix up so many colors just from the primaries. It's a good exercise to try to do that. Sometimes in my group we do that. We sit and just do some color mixing. Now, because I'm on a dark background, I'm going to go a little lighter on the edges of my leaves on purpose, just so they pop out. Hi, Nancy. Thanks for being here. Thank you, guys. I know I'm missing some of the comments float by, but I'll look at them afterwards if I miss them. But hello, and everybody, you're so welcome. Okay, I'm lightening up any of my colors I have out now on my palette with white, because I want to get my edges a little bit brighter in places. My yellow is a little blah. Let's put a little bit of a wash of our yellow on there. Like I said, it's so much fun just to take off the tape. That's like crazy that it's so much fun. Brightening up those green leaves. Still green, but we got a nice yellow on there, almost like a lime green kind of. I'll take that same color now and mix it with a little white. And get some of those little leaves to pop. See how bright that is. Go right on the side of some of those little loopy bits of the leaf. And again, sometimes you got a little bit of that green, say, over on your brown leaf. They travel. The colors are kind of all traveling. I hear that up here in the Northeast, we're going to have a fabulous fall color season. Maybe because of all the rain, I'm not sure, but it's supposed to be spectacular. It comes so fast. It's something to see if you've not been to New England. It's something to see those beautiful colors that we have here, the foliage and whatnot. And I'm just going from dark to the lighter now, and just getting some highlights on my leaves so that they pop a little bit. And you know what you have to do when you're painting is you really have to step back, because it's so hard to see when you're looking this close to something. You're so super critical. Oh, I don't like it, whatnot. Step back, because that's where the viewer's going to see it. So let's just, so from a distance, it looks like fall leaves, and I've done nothing but dab on, start with the dark and just dabbed on bits of color here and there, and I think it's really working. Now, ordinarily, the vein lines in these guys would be brown, but I don't think it will show up much. So I might just do my vein lines white, because it's more of a decorative kind of a design than, like I say, a botanical painting of exactly what it is. So I'm going to, at the end, do my little vein lines, and then I'll pop on my acorns. So, hey Kit, hey, it's good to see you. I love it when I see all my painting friends and my members popping in. And if you do want to jumpstart your painting journey, my membership is a great place to do it. It is very affordable. You get individual attention. You get lots of paintings to choose from. I give you a lot of paintings to choose from, but I don't expect you to paint them all. I give you a lot so you can pick what sort of things you like to paint. Maybe you like to paint landscapes. Maybe you like to paint animals. It's there for you to paint what you would like. And it's nice because you have the individual attention. Once a month we meet, and it's more of a casual kind of group. It'll be next Monday, actually. And you can bring paintings you're working on. You can bring questions of paintings we're doing. It's just a nice way to connect with your other creatives in the group. And we just sort of hang out and paint and talk. Really fun. And I'm just getting a few more. I have a nicer red. I've got a very cold red out. I'll get this red here is a little bit more orange. That might be nice to add to the leaves. June, thank you for watching. Thanks for popping into my Craft Round the Clock segment. Oh, good. Yeah, that gives you a nice little bit of reds in there. I'm going to pop some red onto my brown leaves a little bit. Maybe I'll mix a little brown with some orange and get another little shade. All right, so I've got a leaf here that's on top of the other one. It didn't start out that way, but it looks like it should be, so I'm going to brighten up those leaves on top, give them a little shape, and now it will read as being on top and not underneath the other one. And so I did a little sketch for this. But when I'm providing a class, I give you a tracer if it's something that needs one. So you don't have to worry about the drawing part. You could jump in and just get to the painting part. I do go over drawing and sketching with everyone because we do love to sketch sometimes. But to get started, it's kind of nice to be able to just jump in and paint. All right, I'm going to get my veins in and then get my acorns in. But see, I'm taking a little orange and putting it on my green leaf. I'm going to take a little green, put it on my orange leaf maybe. You know, I can just mix those colors in. Because some of my reference photos I've got here of leaves, you do see that little splotches of colors. Diana! Diana's another painter, and she is also another painting teacher. She is wonderful. She has so many cool classes and online things going on. So I'd love to see all you stop in. Hey, Patty. Okay. When I do vein lines, long lines of any sort, I use a brush that is called a liner brush. And I like that because it's got a nice long tip. You can see that. And it holds a lot of paint. So when you're doing detail work, you want to have your paint to a nice inky consistency. I mix with water. Because this brush holds so much paint, you can do a lot of little lines without reloading. And what's nice also is you get a smoother line. I know people say, oh, I can't paint little detail lines like that. I just can't get a thin line. It's probably not, you can't get that. It's, you need the right brush. But most importantly, you need the right consistency of paint. Because if I have my paint really thinned down, so I will go ahead now and I'll thin down my paint. Actually, I shouldn't have picked white because I want to show you. I'll just take my paint and thin it with water. I want it really nice and inky. And then I can do long, long lines. I can do all sorts of work before I have to reload. If I'm taking paint strictly that's been dry and sitting out, you're going to have to get a nice smooth line, you're going to have to give it more pressure. So you've got your paint, but you're pressing more, so you're getting a thicker line. It's sometimes on the fabric of canvas and fabric, it will skip along because the paint's too thick. So don't always say, oh, I can't paint a thin line, because you can if you just get the paint the right consistency, a light touch on your brush. Don't press down so much, just light touch, and you'll be surprised. In practice, it's kind of relaxing and fun to sometimes with a piece of paper just practice your brush strokes. You could be watching TV or doing something else and you just practice. Practice does really help. I've really thinned down my white paint now. I'm going to just go up the middle of my leaves, and I've got a center vein, and I'm going to go out from there a little bit with these little vein lines. Like I say, these wouldn't be white usually, but I think it'll work for us. I don't think the brown will show very well. I really just want to get a little contrast. So I'm going to go right up the center. We'll paint over some of this now when we paint our acorns. And I just kind of go out into those little bits. Again, it's a decorative painting more than it is, oh, it has to look exactly like an oak leaf. I'm sort of just looking sort of at a reference, but mostly just doing my own thing. Hi, Lori Ann. I try to look up and see you guys too. I don't want to miss you, but I love it when you come in and say hello. And I love to know what you want to paint or what you want to see. Like, I could take suggestions. I do that in the group a lot, and something you might want to see. I copy them into my notes, and you never know what you will see. I just finished, it's coming out today for my members, a train painting. Somebody, might have been during one of our lives, I think, suggested a train. So it's kind of a fall, snowy, a little bit train scene, which is nice for fall, but I'll tell you, I really would love to see it more snow and make it more like a Polar Express. You could put a little wreath on the train. Whenever I do a painting, I always give you many options to paint it up a little different. So there, look at that from a distance a little bit, right? So nice on the black background. I wasn't sure if I'd like it or not, but I do like that. And now we're going to paint acorns. So I've got some I was picking up already, but have you seen the little acorns that are painted individually? Seriously, like these little acorns. Although I think, I want to try them, but I think I'll get the wooden ones, because I know unless you treat these ones, they're probably not going to last. But they paint little designs, colorful designs on the body of the acorn. Wouldn't that be fun in a little bowl of those? So that's in the back of my mind. Okay, I'm going to use a little bit more of a synthetic brush now, because I want my acorn to have a shape. I was kind of dabbing these leaves on. I want them to have more of a shape. And I'm going to just base them in maybe a brownish color. Again, I go a little darker than what I want to end up with. I want them to be more like the burnt sienna, which is the red brown when it's ended up. But I'm going to start with maybe like a burnt umber, dark brown. And I know these sometimes come in clusters with all the caps like that. So let me see if I can kind of copy that a little bit. And because my brush is a little softer, I have to dig it in a little bit to get it to cover. But it does give me more control over the shape, so that's okay. So I've got one here. I'll have one coming out over here, maybe like this. Again, I'm using reference, but I'm not a slave to it. I will do what works for the design and the painting too. And I'm just going to scatter them around, mostly on top of the leaves, but some coming out by themselves. And they are kind of like a little bit of an oval with a little point sometimes. So wherever I have like a little empty space, I know I've left some spaces here for them. But let me just get them in, and then we'll just, again, we'll highlight and shade. So I start darker, I get my darks in there, my shadows, and then we'll paint the body of the acorn, and then we'll put those cool little cute caps on top. Hi Peggy, thank you for watching. I love to go through all the comments afterward, and I can really sit and read them and answer them and see what you guys are thinking. It's always fun to know what you're working on. And because it's kind of a little bit dark, at the very end I'm going to look and maybe just dab on really brights of different colors, just to, on the acorns I could use like an orange. We'll see what it needs. And like I said, this is unusual. Usually I'm with the purple like you saw in the teal bags, backgrounds. Yeah, sometimes it could be just one little acorn. Sometimes it could be a grouping of 2 or 3. I vary it up. I don't want it to be all the same. A lot of times they are like 2 little acorns together on a little branch, but put one here, and then let's put one maybe coming out here. Yeah, look, that works. One over here. I might do some little green leaves in here too, just for a little decorative touch afterwards. Maybe some little curly cues and things. One over here. And that'll just give you an idea how to paint them. I don't want to put too many and then go too long. So I really just started by putting in some little brown, almost like circles, but they're kind of a little elongated. And I could kind of shade them after and give them a little more shape. And that's going to take a second to dry. I can even take, when I know that there's some chalk lines left, I can even take a little brush with just water and, you know, just get rid of the chalk lines if I haven't painted over them. I can do that around the leaves since they're dry. But anyways, I'm going to give those a second to dry. So let me show you what I have been working on. Hey, Catherine. So like I said, I have the art membership, and it's a monthly membership, and you can always jump in and try it, see if you like it. It's been going on for 2 years now, so I have 3 paintings a month. times 2 years of paintings in the library. So when you join, you don't have to just wait for the next month. You can go into that library and pick and choose whatever you like. You search for animals, search for landscapes, search for Halloween, all kinds of ways. But I'm getting ready now because I'd like to get all 3 months now, the next 3 months, all ready. I usually fly by the seat of my pants, and I'm always last minute. But I want to get those 3 months because the fall's going to be busy. I have some art shows and things, some plein air events, and craft things. So I want to get them kind of done. So what I've done so far, let's see. I know pumpkins are a thing, but I wanted to paint them actually pink. It didn't really end up being too pink. I was thinking Barbie, you know, when I told you I love my teal. So we've got this pumpkin design I just did. This is a pretty quick, easy one. This is one where they're just little stroked flowers, so they're not hard at all. Then sometimes we do things that are a little more detailed, but honestly, I walk you through them step by step. And my people that might be watching will tell you, I'll give you a tracer. So this one is a little bit more detailed, but you get the tracer and you get, I take you step by baby step on how to get through the painting. So I did this one, and I thought, wouldn't it be cute to personalize with the kid's name on the stocking? And then I realized, well, that's only one kid's name. So I have another version of this, which he's holding a little parchment scroll like Santa's list, and you can list all the names. So that's coming up. That'll probably be, this will do, let's see, this will do in September. This one will be in November. I just finished a covered bridge. We're going to do probably November. I think we'll do that in November. This is the train we just did. It's being released today to my members. It's the little train, but don't you think it would be cool with more snow and the wreath on the train? You could add kids' names to the cars. I do like to personalize things. I think we might do this one for, I don't know if I did it yet before. So if I didn't, I might do that one for Halloween. Lots of Halloween paintings. Like, so say, for instance, you can go back and find, like, these are all paintings we've done previously. This is not even all of the Halloween and fall, but you could just search for the season, and we've done landscapes. I love this one. Again, it's a little detailed, but it was really a blast to do. It's like a haunted house. This little guy was so cute. Oh, Vincent Van Gogh. That was Vincent Van Gogh. So we've got lots of ideas, lots of paintings. And so if you have any inkling that you might want to join us, just send me a message and I can give you the info. Like I say, it's just very affordable and a great community. And now these are almost dry, so let me put some lights on them. They're dark already. Let's get some lights on there. Oh, thank you, Lynn. Somebody, I think 1 week ago or 2 weeks ago on Craft Around the Clock might have suggested train. I forget who suggested that, but I thought that would be good because I try to vary it. We paint all kinds of things. I don't have the pony painting here. I have a pony painting that's adorable, a fall kind of painting. It's got actually daisies, maybe not too fall. Little pony looking behind would be awfully cute. Again, painted Christmassy with a little Santa hat on the pony. So anyways, it's fun, and I love to share this with you guys because it's not terribly hard to learn if you would like to paint. It's a lot of fun. It's good for your soul. It's not all about the finished painting either. It's about the process and having fun while you're painting. It's an activity that for a little while takes you out of your everyday world, and it's really nice just to put some of those worries and thoughts behind and just do something for yourself. Anyway, that's my spiel. I'm not a good salesperson. That's the problem with my groups and my membership. I don't push them like I should. Hey, Gail. Yep, it's coming today. It got finally downloaded, and I'm going to package it up and email it to you after I get done here today. I'm not a big seller of things, and I just let the paint. So instead of I do spend Monday trying to do social media stuff because, we have to. This is where our market is. But I'd rather just be painting. So you guys spread the word for me. That would be a great favor. I can do the paintings. You guys come in and paint with me. I have just put on a little bit of the burnt sienna, which is red brown. I just dabbed it on top. So I had dark brown, you saw that. Now it's just dabbed on top. On these guys, I think I will make a little highlight, maybe in the middle of them. So let me I will try different colors to see what works. I don't know if gold will, a little bit of gold, baby, in the middle, kind of the light's hitting it there. I think I'll do that kind of across the board instead of doing right side light, left side dark. Let's pretend that the light's just shining on them. I'm using just like a yellow ochre. It's just a goldy color. I could use a little more of it. See where that is. It's just like this is a color I use a lot. It's kind of a gold. again, you could mix this. You could use your primary yellow, and you could mix a little bit of alizarin crimson with it. You get some beautiful shades. But sometimes, like I said, when I use something a lot, I'll have it in the bottle. Let me know in the comments who likes to paint, who's already jumping in and painting. I recognize some of you guys have painted with me many times, and my memberships. Oh, Cece, thank you. Good to see you again. I've dabbed in a little bit of that yellow ochre color. I'm just going to take white on my brush now. Dirty brush. I'm not washing it. I don't want it to be bright white, but dirty brush, add some white. I kind of pat it off on my palette. And I'm kind of with, this is kind of a softer look. It almost looks like those paintings on velvet, but it's not. It has that soft look, so I'm kind of not making a perfect little circle of the highlight. I'm just dabbing it on a little bit. I'll dab it on, dab it on, dab it on. Dry my brush off. Use that dry brush to soften it. I don't want it to be a big circle, but and they'll start looking like acorns when we get the little cap on. What do we have for time? Oh, 12:06. I try to look at the time. I always finish up pretty good. One of these days I'm probably going to be too ambitious, but it's kind of fun to be on the spot and see what you can do. It's kind of like a little challenge. All right, I'm going to try taking some of that red brown and maybe get a little bit. It's a dark background. I'll just go down one side with the burnt sienna, just because I want it to show, these little guys to show up. And if I have to, I can even put like a lighter outline on them. And I can even outline them a little bit with white if I need to. Let's put the little caps on. The little caps are really just a little hat, almost like a little beret on their heads. Ideally, this might have been better on a lighter background, but let's see. I'm going to mix a little black with my brown because I want those little caps dark. And I'm just painting it like a little beret on their head, and then they get a little stem. And I sometimes put little crisscrosses on them, or I might just dab on a little texture because they do have that little texture. Hi, Nancy. It's my Aunt Nancy. How are you? You're further up in Maine, and I really have to get up there one of these times. I've been to Acadia once. You're up, I know, by Bar Harbor. My son was up a couple weeks ago, and he did go up overnight. And I have a friend that lives up there in... I'm not going to think of the name because I'm doing this, but I'll think of the name where she is because she's right near you. She had an Irish shop up there at one time too. I am doing just on the corner of my brush. I can just take my brush like this and just make little stems on those acorns. And now I just don't want to get paint on the back of my little tote bag. So let's just put that there. Okay, just the little stems. But I'm going to highlight them on one side with white so we see those stems, just like we did white on our veins on our leaves. And sometimes I can do it all in one stroke. I take the brown on my brush, dip a corner in the white so it's just looking like that, and I can just go ahead and make the little stems all in one stroke. I am going to outline a little bit and do that little kind of a patchwork on my caps so that you can see them. They're looking a little lost in the dark background. But it's a work in progress. I don't really, sometimes when I'm doing my little craft around the clock segments, I just jump in and do something I really haven't done before. I like to live on the edge, I guess. Okay, so now I'm going to brighten up those little caps in the middle. Our little acorns are a little brighter in the middle, and this little cap is going to be a little brighter in the middle. So I might just go, I'll try that little golden white again. Just a little highlight across the top of that cap. And then I'm going to hold it up in a minute so we can see if it looks like what it should. But let's get some of those little designs. So I'm going to use that liner brush like I did, or you could use a detail, something small. Doesn't really have to be a liner for this, but I'm going to use one that's a little bit like a liner. I'm going to thin my white paint down. I'm thinning my paint a lot as I go because it's sitting on the palette, it's drying up. I want the paint to flow. So some cases maybe I want that thick, heavy paint if I'm doing snow or texture and things, but usually I'm dipping into my water quite often. And so these little I just do like a little cross hatch design, which is going to be perfect because it's going to make these read really as little acorns. And then when I have this brush with the light, I think I will put a little highlight on my acorns with it. And then I'm going to hold it up and we'll see if it does the trick. We want to leave time for the big reveal. Peeling off that tape. The best part. And sometimes you can just do this with the texture, with dabbing the brush, but I like these little hash marks. I'm going to give my acorns a bit of a highlight with white. I think we'll do it down the side maybe, so it looks, yeah, looks a little bit like a little shine. Sometimes they're shiny. Just a little dab will do ya. Oh, I forgot the little crosshatch here. And let's put it up. See, I might need some brights here and there. Little there. Let's see. It's starting to come together. Oh, I missed quite a few little crosshatches here. I missed all of these guys. Oh, they do show up okay. See, sometimes they're too close, and then I say, it's not really working. But I think they work. I don't think I need too much more on the leaves, but I might just give a little dab now that they're dry. I could give a little dab, a little heavier paint if I want a little bit of a highlight. Let's see, like just here and there. Just to bring those to life a little bit. A little bit of orange. You know, because I have like all of 3 minutes here. But you can go and give them a little bright, little pops of color. I think I would like to get a little bit of something on those maroony ones. There. Now, like I said, we can take a wet brush and get rid of the chalk lines. They'll be all just wash away. Really handy to have chalk in your paint kit. And let's pull off the tape now because that is the best part. Hi, Cam. Hey, Cam. I love the work that you've been posting lately. You do such nice work. I'd love to see everybody's paintings. You guys, even if it's not a painting, please feel free to post what you're working on my page because I love to see it. So let's do this. Let's peel off the paint now. I mean the tape. But isn't it so cool? When I found this technique to paint the tote bags, I was so happy because I didn't really love painting just on the canvas. It just did not work for me. I had to put lots of coats to get a base to be able to put my highlights and whatnot on. But look at how cool this is. And again, this is a little dark for me. This is a little dark. I don't usually paint this dark. Let's pull out the... So I just put in a little magazine to keep it from going into the other side. Now, it almost looks like chalkboard, doesn't it? So you could even write something, you know, some little fall saying up here. You could put your name up there. I think it was a success. What do you guys think? I think it would be nice with pumpkins and so many ideas. Like I said, they're very inexpensive. I think you can order them by the dozens on Amazon, just the little bags. But what a great gift idea. If you want to give like a little hostess gift and you put a little shred in there and a little candle or something, just makes a nice gift, and then you can reuse it. People love those. I love these bags. I'm like the bag lady. I have so many bags. But thank you guys for everything. Let me see. I don't know if there's anything else I was going to show you, but I will put in the comments if you are interested in the links. The Craft Around the Clock link, my link. Where do I have it? I have it saved here. I don't want to go too far. Oh, and remember, stick around because let's see. I know who the next crafter is. It is Be So Creative. Every 45 minutes, a new crafter coming along for your viewing pleasure. So, let me see if I can find it. If I have to sign off, which I have to sign in a minute, I will certainly put it in there. And you can always send me a message if you want any information too. Thanks, Carol. Thanks, Cynthia. Thank you. You guys have a wonderful day too. I will put my links in the comments. I will go back and answer the comments too. So stick around, refresh your page. If you don't see the next crafter pop up, I usually have to refresh. I'll see you next week. Thank you guys so much for coming and watching.